I'm gonna be running Billet Hubs on my Clio. Let's go!
That's a good one!
So I have been asked before, what suspension setup am I running? Interesting question this. Currently, it's all custom. It's a Laguna upright. Probably should have taken this out so I could show you before starting the film. So this is a Renault Laguna Mark 1, I think, a diesel or something, hub. Quite popular for one good reason, is this thing. The original 172 has a cutout, whatever, and then for roll center correction kit, I had one failed before because of the slit. It doesn't sit right here. It's a solid one and it sits much better. Bigger bearing, and they're supposed to be much better, but they're like rocking horses now. Impossible to find. I think they're only available in Europe, and obviously with shipping and all that. Another negative thing about those is the bearing. The bearing is huge and it takes a lot of force to press it out, like 30 tons. My homemade press doesn't even, well, I've done it, but you can bend the hub and everything. So I wanted to go full billet uprights with a better bearing, so we can run a different CV and a few other modifications to it. So I've scanned it using a RivaPoint scanner, and then I paid a guy to convert the mesh file into a normal file, and then I paid another guy to make an initial design, so to speak. And then I sent that design to Nick from Pure Motorsport, because obviously I'm running a lot of things on the car, like 5000R AP racing, calipers, control arms, a lot of things Nick did for me for this car. So this is basically an unboxing, so to speak. I am not sure what's in each of these boxes, so we're just gonna open and I'll show you the pièce de résistance. Well, this is one of them. So now we're gonna run native 5x114 stud pattern. This is a Megane 3 RS flange with a bearing, with a bolt-in bearing. So this is basically a replacement spare part. So if we have some problems at the track, we can just literally replace this, and without worrying that the day has ended. What else do we have in here? This is empty box, I guess, so it doesn't slosh. I think those are another empty box. I think this is what everything came in, and you just use it to space the box so it doesn't wobble around. In here you have the CVs. These are Clear 197 CVs, slightly modified because they have my ABS ring. So I have full ABS. They are thicker than the current ones I was running. So hopefully this will prevent future breakages. And again, we have spares. So we have 2 extra. So 1 on each side that can be replaced if needed. So 1, 2, 3, 4. This is empty, this is empty. Fantastic. Let's put this back in this box. This is like Christmas because I don't really know what's inside of each box. It's taking quite a long time because obviously this was not a rush job. And I believe Nick wants to market them, obviously, under Pure Motorsport. As you will see, it has Pure Motorsport logos and everything. He done the design. He basically took upon him to redesign completely the original design that I paid somebody to do. I mean, rightly so. He's done an amazing job. Much better than the original one. Original was just quite boxy and didn't really have any, shall we thought put into it. From the engineering perspective, there was just a guy who was just like, yeah, I can design it. He had a different brief to what Nick had. So I think this box would contain, yes, the resistance. I have seen those, not those, but I did have the prototype. The original prototype was done in plastic, not 3D printed or anything. It was, I think it was Derlin or something like that. Nick basically machined the prototype for me so we could fit it to the car and test the fitment and everything, because obviously it's expensive to machine it from one big chunk of aluminium. So we had to test it for fitment with a cheaper plastic first. Obviously couldn't drive the car like that, but We checked the fitment, it was good. So dimensionally, it should be, well, it will be identical to what I've test fitted. But this time, this will be all in aluminium. Mate. Oh, this looks so good. Oh my God, this is so good. This is amazing. So let me run you through some features. One very important feature is that it's native AP racing caliper. So we just literally bolt my calipers and there is no adapter plates, no nothing like that. Then we have integrated ABS sensors for my ABS. I would assume that you can use the same sensors for whatever your ABS if you're buying it, if he's gonna market it like that. Also, we have adjustable bump steer. I mean, this is your steering attachment, but we can adjust bump steer by sliding it back and forth, so you don't really need shims anymore. You're probably asking, oh, why go into all this length doing it all machined aluminium and then making this as a steel? Easy, cheap. This is still kind of a prototype, because once we know that it works and we have plenty of adjustment and everything, nothing is stopping us from machining it from aluminium. But frankly, I mean, this is zinc plated and everything. There is absolutely no need to have it from aluminium. It is what it is. It's just two-part. So this hub is two-part piece for two good reasons. One is cost, because obviously doing this from big chunk of aluminium like that is expensive. So if you break it down and you make a smaller part like this, and then another part like this from two different chunks, it becomes a little bit cheaper. But also because mine are Laguna hubs, and Laguna hubs are 64 millimeters. So this distance is 64 millimeters. And if I show you the original hub, I think I had it somewhere here. I've seen it. Or maybe I haven't seen it. I've seen it somewhere. Doesn't matter. Original Clio is either 60 or 54, depending on cup or 172 or whatever. It's this spacing. So he can literally just have different versions, 64, 60, 54. So if you're buying this for your car, you'll just basically specify what spacing you want, and then this will bolt in. And also it means that this can be made differently. So if you want a different offset, if we want to change, let's say, static camber before the adjustments on the bolts, we can literally just sort of make it a bit smaller, and then it will sort of go this way, making more custom. And one of the most important features, and the whole point of this exercise really is serviceability. So we don't have to press the bearing out, and usually it takes, anyways. This is a bolt-on bearing, as you can see, 4 bolts from the back, and it's a 197 Clio Sport bearing. So we have that, and this is a bonus feature. Originally, this was supposed to be a 4-stud, but then 5-stud, 5x108. We were still supposed to run the spacers with the adaptation pattern, but because Megane 3 is the same. Basically fits the same bearing, but it has the 5x114, so my wheels can stay. And the biggest bonus out of all of this, we don't have to have 20 mil spacer because of the adapter. So now the scrub radius will be reduced. I think currently we're running 63 to 67 positive on the McPherson on the front wheel drive car. Yes, I know it's extreme. That's probably why the handling is all over the place. So now we can reduce that, because obviously there is no spacer, and the wheel just sort of goes on with just a ring and a roll center kit. This could be shorter, could be longer. It all depends on the setup. Marvelous. This looks so good. I can't wait to actually take the old one and weigh it, just so we can see what the weight is. You're probably asking, what brakes are you going to be running? What brakes? Because the recent hold up, they were ready for quite a while, actually. They were ready for quite a while. I kept it quiet. They were ready for like a month ago. They arrived from the machine shop. But what we were waiting for is custom brake belts, because first Nick, as you probably know, he set up Alpine 1 or something like that. I can't remember, sorry Nick. Website, so he does all this sort of Alpine tuning, and it's pure motorsport version of for Alpine. Anyways, he does the brake kit for Alpine, which is the 5000R AP racing kit, whatever. And he was like, oh my God, I think we're in luck. One of the rotors that I'm running, the 330, I think they fit. I'm like, no way. So he checked it, and it was just like close. We could have made it work. I think it was like 1 or something millimeters off, but we were like, you know what, let's do it properly, custom all the way. So we basically not me, he got, ta-da, yeah. So he machined, well, not him personally, but he got a custom bell specific for my offset. So when it goes onto this thing, not only it has 5x114 pattern like that, when the, what is it? Yeah, boy, aligns. So when the brake caliper goes on, it will be absolutely perfect with 1 mil on each side and everything. I mean, how good does this look? I have a feeling this is lighter. I mean, obviously strength is paramount, so we were not chasing the lightness, but because it's all aluminum versus steel, this should be lighter. Cannot wait to fit this. Once again, I have to say thank you, Nick. There's another box with more stuff. Another very important feature for race car, brake cooling. So Nick designed those and they are basically integrated. You know how some people sort of put whatever aluminum plates and whatnot. In all honesty, I've never really had issues with brake cooling because I think the splitter tunnels that I make, they provide adequate amount of airflow towards inside the wheel well without overheating the brakes. So never really had problems. Some might say you've not been braking hard enough. Touché. Anyways, brake cooling. So this will have it integrated like that. So we have obviously 3D printed, and the idea was that I was planning to make, I think this is for the other side. Anyways, you will see what I mean. Yes, this is for the other side. You know what? We don't have to bolt it. You can see, so it goes like that. I mean, it should be like that at the bottom. And then this side, all the air goes directly inside the brake rotor, cooling it efficiently. I redesigned this slightly, so I made a different version because I don't think, because this one is designed to run a hose inside to the brake cooling outlet on the bumper. I don't have that, mine is all smooth. So what I'm trying to do is make the same idea, so basically it's just a scoop, so it sits sort of at the bottom like that. Again, this is a wrong rotor, but it basically will sit. How do I show you? Anyways, I think you understand. So this one is at the bottom like that, so it will just sit and it will scoop all the air and again send it to the same way. This is going to be basically level with a lower control arm. So I have two options. Again, probably will make it out of carbon, but to be fair, you know, if you print it from thermally stable plastic, should be absolutely fine. Yes. Oh, drive shafts. Oh my God, I have to make drive shafts now. So the next step would be literally just bolt everything on. And because the engine is not there, you can't see it, but I can see it. The engine is not there. Engine is still being repaired. This is an impromptu one take opening unboxing video. I'll just put the gearbox so I know how the drive shafts go, and then Satchel will be making new shafts. Anyways, guys, quick update for you. What's been going on with the race car. Click like, visit Puyo Motorsport, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.